Thank you for your thoughtful question. I genuinely appreciate when people approach this topic with curiosity instead of combat. This is a bit of a loaded question, so I want to break this down clearly. First, the intention behind regulation makes sense. On the surface, it feels like the obvious solution, but here's the part most people don't realize. Regulations already exist. Dogs are legally considered property, and while there are laws for neglect, abuse, and basic standards of care, they only go so far. As long as a breeder meets those minimal requirements, they're legally allowed to continue breeding, and that includes puppy mills. The uncomfortable reality is this: many of the largest and most concerning breeding operations are fully licensed and compliant on paper. Licensing doesn't equal ethical. It just means they've checked the minimum boxes to stay in business. And here's where it gets tricky, and this is the nuance most people never consider. When new regulations are introduced, they often end up hurting the ethical breeders more than the unethical ones, because ethical breeders actually follow rules, invest in high standards, and try to stay in compliance. Meanwhile, bad actors go underground, cut more corners, or find loopholes, so the people we want to keep, the ones doing it right, often face the highest burden while the worst offenders continue operating anyway. This is a well-documented phenomenon across industries. Compliant, voluntary, high-standard participants bear the cost of regulation, unethical actors evade or circumvent. So no, I don't think regulations alone will fix the issue, because bad breeders don't lack rules, they lack ethics. And rules only regulate the floor, not the ceiling. Now, where I do believe real change can happen is in two main areas. Buyer education. So if buyers stop purchasing from low-effort breeders, those breeders lose their market. If people start requiring proof of health testing, meeting breeders in person, asking the right questions, and choosing ethical programs, the unethical ones struggle to sell. But there's a harsh reality there too. When unethical breeders can't sell puppies, the dogs ultimately pay the price. Those puppies and breeding dogs, already in an environment without adequate care, often suffer even more when they become excess inventory. That's why education has to come with compassion, not punishment, so the dogs don't become collateral damage. Next, I really think community and conversation. Part of why I create these videos is to open the door to growth instead of shame. Some backyard breeders are intentionally unethical, yes, but others simply don't know better because no one taught them. If we approached with empathy, mentorship, and resources instead of hostility, I think we'd see far more improvement. And I agree, there is simply no way we're going to eliminate every bad actor. That's unrealistic. But we can make it harder for unethical programs to thrive and easier for ethical ones to stay by raising the social standard, not just the legal minimum. Because the law sets the floor and the community has the power to set the ceiling. So I absolutely agree with the heart of your comment. Adopt or shop responsibly. That's truly where it starts. If we focus on education, empathy, and raising awareness of what ethical actually looks like, I believe we'll see a ripple effect, and that's where real lasting change happens. I hope that I answered your question, and thank you so much for contributing to continuing the conversation. Do me a favor and leave a comment under this post so I can create a direct video reply for how to identify an ethical breeder.